Hey everyone, it's Vision. This is the Meta Quest 3, the first VR headset to hit the mainstream and hit it hard. Released on September 27th, 2023, this headset's the first that I feel most consumers will see. This headset is the biggest leap any company has taken, normalizing VR and changing what VR gaming is and how it's perceived. I purchased the Meta Quest 3 because I believe in the future of VR. Now, Meta isn't the best company by far, but the VR community has to admit they are the largest, most public company that can give a boost to VR, unlike any other company. Yes, PlayStation has VR, but that does require a PlayStation 5 at around $450 and $550 for the headset. That is around $1,000 for just trying to get into VR. Add some games and only add to that $1,000, but we'll get into that more later. Let's get back to the Quest 3 and Meta. Meta is bringing VR to everybody. Starting at $500, this is a console and it's priced like one. Being a standalone headset, this also allows casuals and enthusiasts to fully enjoy VR. Sporting two high-resolution LCD screens for each eye and up to 120 Hz lessens the prior generation's ability to give someone nausea or any sickness, which is a big deal for the general audience. You remember starting on VR and have to pause every 30 minutes or so because your head would start hurting, but now you can be in it for hours grinding on VR chat. Meta has the reach, money, and time to invest in the VR, and you could say everything wrong about Horizons, Mark Zuckerberg, and the nightmare of their privacy agreements for Facebook and Instagram, but that doesn't mean they're not taking strides to make VR better. Well, kind of. They are kind of our only hope, burning millions while they're at it. There are other companies doing VR like Valve, Big Screen, HTC, but they don't promote it to the general public, and most importantly, at an affordable value. Most people probably see VR as weird tech, and yeah, swinging my arms in a room and screaming does look weird from an outsider's perspective, but I'm out here doing parkour with guns. My first VR headset was the Oculus Rift S. I didn't and still don't have the space to set up base stations, so I wanted a standalone unit. One that plugs directly into my PC and works with the space that I have, and it did that perfectly. Well, at least that's what I thought so. So, after some time, I went and upgraded to the HP Reverb G2, which was practically the Rift S Premium, based using Windows Mixed Reality. Both headsets were perfect for my limited space, and when I saw the Quest 3, I knew I had to get it. But for you to know exactly why, let's get into specs. Sporting the new Qualcomm Snapdragon XR2 Gen 2 is quite literally the next generation chip from the prior Quest 2. I have not personally spent too much time in a Quest 2 other than using some friends' units, but I can tell based on the performance of the headset, it really does its job and it does it well. It uses two 2064 by 2208 LCD screens, high resolution for both eyes, improving clarity, and the 110 FOV on the closest settings, and comparing that to Valve Index's 120, it's so close you can't really tell unless you're using some VR charts. Also, compared to some other headset, this one uses pancake-shaped lenses. I don't want to lie to you, I just don't understand how it is better, but it just is. It just means a thinner profile of the headset, a more clear experience, and a higher resolution. Basically magic to me. To the normal person, just know high resolution, high refresh rate, and high FOV is to make this headset the best first headset for a lot of new people. One thing you may have noticed in Meta's ads for the Quest 3 was their focus on AR. In their live stream, they showed a lot of AR, and I mean practically all AR. Which is smart, this will be the first introduction to the average audience for VR. Being able to put someone in a digital but real world is a first step, and it'll be the easiest step for someone to get into. As you can guess, I didn't get the Meta Quest 3 for AR, as I lean a lot more towards VR. But if you've used Pass-Through before with other headsets, this actually allows you to see your surroundings, and even see your cell phone with your headset, which is kind of massive. Being able to see the environment around me, change and evolve while I play some games, still allows me to be fully comfortable moving around my play area. The dual RGB pass-through cameras are fine. I feel they could be better, but I also think I could have had better lighting. Don't expect to see as clearly as they show in the videos, but that doesn't mean they're bad. You can see around you and read your phone and screens. Even some people are starting to do day-to-day things while in VR, like cleaning and even going to the gym. The one thing I hope they fix via software is the warble effect when you place your hand near your face. It makes it kind of uncomfortable, but you really want to have your hands right in front of you most of the time. Meta does come out with frequent updates, so I'm not too worried about it. As for the long term, they'll probably fix it with a patch. We hope. I also want to note that I purchased the MetaQuest 3 Elite Strap with battery, which helped with the weight of the headset. Although at a steep $130, if you're cautious about the price, don't worry. If we look to the history of the Quest 2, there will most likely be a cheaper alternative that'll come out soon. I also picked up the hand straps, which I feel for VR frees up your hands and allows you to relax and focus on what's in front of you. Let's get into why I got my Quest 3, specifically to play native games. These are games that specifically played on the Quest 3 without tethering to a PC. I previously had a Rift S and HP Reverb in that order. These both tethered to the PC and allowed me to first experience VR. Although you get better performance, quality, and options for most games tethered, playing VR is the most fun when you're completely wireless. Although these games that I mentioned are also available on other platforms, being wireless is a massive bonus. And don't worry, we'll get into Airlink also. Over the first month, I played Breachers, Stride Fates, Beat Saber, Medal of Honor, and replaying the Star Wars Vader Immortal series. I had a great time playing all of them. I did not experience any controller connection loss, as the headset has inside-out tracking. When reaching around me, it's better than the previous generations. And the battery life running native games gave me about 1.5 to 2 hours of gameplay. Adding my extended battery, I was never worried about dying. When I play VR, I usually don't play over the 2-hour marker, so the battery life didn't really affect me, but I felt like I was getting the full 4 hours during usage based off of the percentages. There isn't too much to say. Everyone has their own tastes in games and goals for VR experiences. If you're worried about the performance of a battery life, no need, it'll play your games great. And now for the VR veterans and enthusiasts. Let's get into Airlink. Let me first start by saying that I see people having good experience with this. I had decent experiences personally, although there are better ways for me to improve my setup, so let's start off with my setup. There are two methods I tried. Airlink itself to my PC, and also using virtual desktop on the headset to then use the thin client on my PC to stream. I found virtual desktop easier to navigate through Steam, as if you encounter a UAC prompt, you can bypass that inside virtual desktop instead of walking to my PC and pressing yes. My first issue was my access point. Meta does recommend an access point with a sight line above your headset and away a few feet at least. I purchased a Netgear Wi-Fi 6 model number for an access point itself. This is a business line access point, and it was sitting in a semi-optimized space. I was unable to mount it above me. I ran into issues when I was in more intense moving scenarios. I was getting 50 to 70 milliseconds of latency, which did cause issues. I tried messing with the settings, but I still ran into latency. The MetaQuest 3 recommends Wi-Fi 6E. However, I currently don't want to invest an additional 150 plus on a router. The provider router is also Wi-Fi 6, but it's a few rooms over. I could tweak some more settings, but I do believe other reviews of people using Quest Airlink with no problems. I'll wait to get a Wi-Fi 6E access point or router and update you in a future video. Also, later during making this video, Meta approved the addition of Steam Link to the store, which does allow quick access to Steam VR. I haven't run into any issues with using the Steam Link. I ran into less latency than the other ones, but I think one of the biggest improvements that I did was making a brand new SSID just for my Quest, and I did get better performance, of course using 5 gigahertz and some more details on the screen, but it still wasn't the best. Yes, I know I'm looking for perfection in wireless HDMI compatibility capability, so I ended up just trying the Quest Link cable, and this went how you expected. Works great. You don't need to get the MetaLink cable, that's for $80. Go for the Kiwi, that's only 30 to 20 depending on Amazon. You will still get great performance. The only issue though is you can't charge while using the Link cable. Even for those of you who had the same cable or different ones with powered cables, meaning you would plug in a power type C into the side of it and you get additional power. The Quest 3 can no longer keep up with charging and data transfer due to port limitations. These cables will extend your gameplay, but it will eventually drain your battery. I highly recommend trying both methods, as you will add whole new games that are not in the Meta store like Half-Life Alyx and Phasmophobia. Just a side note for glasses wearers, glasses are more comfortable, but you do lose FOV as you have to push the headset further away from your face. I also feel pressure on the side of my glasses, and then also it feels like here, so pushing it far I still feel the pressure, but I do wear larger glasses. Although it is doable, I actually do recommend a pair of the Zenni prescription lenses, which are specifically made for the Quest 3. Trust me, this is definitely not sponsored. These lenses mimic the shape of the pancake lenses, and compared to other VR prescription lenses that I got for my Rift S and HP Reverb, these prescriptions allow me to look anywhere without issues. And if you've used prescriptions in other headsets before, and you do not look dead center, it was really hard to read words or focus on anything because for some reason it just wouldn't focus. You actually had to look forward and left in order to read things instead of, moving your eyes like normally. It's the one great thing about a company recommending a specific product is going to be the quality, and I'm more than happy to pay that price again. Trust me. Let's get into some current numbers for the holiday season, and this was right before Christmas. This is around the Black Friday season. Per Road to VR, on Amazon alone, the Quest 3 sold 69,100 units, compared to the Quest 2 of 163,000. That's a huge difference of the Quest 2 eating 70.2% of the VR headset space alone. But here's the thing, I see it as a positive. The Quest 2 went down to $250 with a $50 gift card, while the Quest 3 was $500 with a $15 headset, and you get Asgard's Wrath too. That is a huge price difference. Although the Quest 3 is new, the Quest 2 still provides a good experience for VR. This low price gets rid of inventory for the Quest 2 and even better introduces people into the VR space. While the Quest 3 is better, the Quest 2, you can't beat the value for it. And for someone who has $250 and they want to buy their first VR headset, may as well try that, and it keeps them in the VR space. I think this is a positive for the community, and they should look forward to the next couple years as more and more users get used to and use their VR headset. I am excited for the future of VR, although not so much for AR. It's great to see the space growing, and compared to a few years ago, already so much new technology has been invented, refined, and deployed for these headsets. So that does lead me to ask, what do you guys think? If you're watching this video, you're either into VR or you're looking to join the community. Is the Quest 3 a good headset for the community, or does it hurt it? Thanks for watching, everybody. This is a more in-depth video that I've made before, so let me know what you guys think out in the comments below. Have a good one.